nobody said or tried to be better than you. When people start saying, oh, they think they better, that's because you see something in them that's better. You're not supposed to be taking it out something on your man because your boss done pissed you off. Now you out here bullying your damn kids and your husband and your friends. No, that's not figure it out. Why you got an attitude all the time and work on it? Because people do not have to be around you. I would hate for you to lose everybody because, oh, they think they better. No, they all better. Sometimes people are just better. They work harder, live better, they nicer, okay? They budget money better. She's better. Some people are just better. Let's just be real. We all good. Welcome to the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast, where we explore, explain, and discuss what makes us a whole lot of woman in today's world. This is phase 3 of the Becoming Her series, okay? So phase 1, we interviewed our higher self. Phase 2, we spoke to our current self. And phase 3, we are reflecting on both of those, okay? So this phase is all about reflection, okay? And just know the only person that you have to compete with is yourself. So that's why I like to call this phase the me versus me phase, okay? So get ready, get your pen, get your journal, get your signature sent, okay? All right. And let's get started becoming her. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend, okay? Hit those notification bells so you can be notified every time I upload.
I won't be defined, stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of...
Hey ladies, okay. So like I said, this is phase 3. This is the beauty segment of the Becoming Her series, phase 3, okay? So what are we doing? We're reflecting right now. So tell me, what have you changed? How's it going? Have you guys found your manifestation piece? If you have, put it in the comments. Tell me what it is, okay? Have you started your lock journey? Have you started your high heel, grown woman aesthetic journey, okay? Tell me what it is that you have changed, and let's all compare these journeys together. Let's support each other through these journeys, okay? So, me personally, what I tried was a new wig in a different color, okay? So, I've always wanted to try different hair colors, but growing up, I never dyed my hair. I never even stepped out of that 1B realm, you know what I'm talking about? So, I did try a honey blonde wig, and I'm going to put some pictures in because I wore it before, but the first time I wore it, I felt like I was getting washed out. It was too much of the same skin tone as me. That's the way I felt, so I just threw it in the bag. You know how we do, throw it in the bag in the closet for a year or two. And after I talked to y'all about, we're going to start making some changes, taking some risks with our looks, I went and got it. And I remember I was talking to my friend on the phone. We was on FaceTime, and I put it on. I was already talking down about it, how it washed me out. That's why I don't like this color. And so I put it on. I was like, Then I shifted it. So I took it from a middle part to a side part. And I was like, okay, this might work. This is a little cute, okay? Because, it frames your face different when you do that. So then I took it from having just the side part, and then I was like, well, let me put it in a ponytail and see what it looked like. So it framed my face in a whole different way. And I was like, I can work with this. And I took it to my hairdresser, got it applied, and I was getting so many compliments on it. That was why I told y'all to write. I always tell y'all, write down how people react to it, the feedback you get. Because, you're going to write down how you feel about it. We all know how we feel about stuff. But write down the reactions you were getting to it, because you may not remember that 3-4 months from now when you trying to, buy a new wig or something like that. But write down how people receive you. My mom was like, oh, that's cute. I like that color on you, Keita. Because it stands out, because I never switched my hair color up. I never changed that thing about my aesthetic. So people noticed, and I got a lot of good feedback for it. So now I have more confidence when I wear it, because I found a way to wear it that makes it comfortable for me, where I know that, okay, I don't feel as washed out. I can do this. I can pull this off. And then when I had the confidence to step out in it, I got a lot of compliments. So I know it wasn't just me hyping myself up in my head either. So that's one new thing that I have, that I'm like, okay, I can start giving myself different looks. So now that I know I can wear that color, I can get different styles, different textures now, because I thought it was done for the whole color, okay? So now I can do that more. And my next color I'm trying out is red. I got to figure out which red looks good on me because I went to a store before and I felt like it washed me out. It's like that. I don't know if it was like the orangey red or like the auburn red. I can't really say because I'm not a hair girl like that. So but I have confidence now. So I'm going to be able to try some new things. And I know to not just try it one way and be like, oh, that didn't work. Okay. So, and that's just like life. You got to try stuff different ways. Have you found your manifestation piece yet? If so, make sure you put it in the comments because I want to know what all you guys found. Okay. And like I told you, mine is a suit. I mean, it's a blazer dress that for when I want to start public speaking, that I can step out in that. Okay. Y'all want to see it? Let me show it to y'all. 1 second. Hi, ladies. I'm Nikita Chantel, host of the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. And if you've been trying to level up, but you don't have a tribe or roadmap, I made something just for you. It's my new ebook, The Whole Lotta Woman Blueprint, Your Guide to Becoming Your Best Self. It's over 50 pages of real transformational guidance. I'm talking mindset shifts, self-affirmations, journal prompts, and deep dives into healing, confidence, and setting higher standards. Based on my own journey and what I wish someone would have taught me along the way when I was trying to figure it all out. Whether you're rediscovering, rebuilding, or just ready to become her, start with the blueprint. The link is in the description, and I can't wait to see you on your other side of your glow up. Get her tailored, but yes, this is her. It's a dress. See? But I just feel like, baby, as a public speaker, when I step out on the stage in that, and you know, the sparkles, you know, the light hit the ice, it twinkle and glisten, okay? So, and you see how I'm lighting up just talking about it? I'm picturing myself on the stage, like when it's on, like, okay, introducing Nikita Chantel of the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast, and then I come out on the stage in this, okay? Shake hands with the other panelists, you know what I mean? Up there with the mic, you sharp. It's what you call sharp, okay? My grandma would be so proud. She's so fancy. Okay? Rest in peace, Lula Mae. All right? But see, that's my manifestation piece. You see the joy it brings me. So, yes, please tell me yours, okay? And so, yeah, just tell me how your manifestation makes you feel. Manifestation piece makes you feel because you see, I lit up right then. I'm ready to get her tailored to put her on. I need to be on somebody's stage speaking. And I'm ready to make the moves necessary to get me in that place. Starting with encouraging y'all. And for the clutter girlies or the girls with the packed closets, start making room for your new aesthetic. Okay, or if you just one of those people that just have a lot of clutter, start making room for your new aesthetic. If you got pieces in your closet that you haven't worn in years, or they're just not going to line up with your new aesthetic, like I've seen girls go from the baddie aesthetic to the grown woman aesthetic. So those little short skirts and stuff like that, they're not going to put those back on. So donate them, okay? Then one thing about me, I do not believe in throwing away clothes. I would never just throw clothes away. When I go through my closet now, I have two different piles. I have the pile that's decent clothes, you know, that's worth donating, that's gently used, that somebody else will love, and then I got the ones that ain't nobody finna want. This is just the t-shirts and stuff like that, overnight shirts. I give those to homeless people because I wash them and now you got a clean shirt, because what's trash to me is a fresh shirt to you. So I just don't believe in throwing clothes away. Y'all will hear me say it a million times that I will give people on the side of the road clothes. I just, my stepdaughter, she throwing out a whole bunch of, like, you know, pillows, accessory pillows, like for your decoration pillows for like your bed and stuff. They don't match nothing in the house and they're worn out. But I wash the pillows, and who's going to get them? A homeless person, so they don't have to sleep on their hands, because I just can't throw certain stuff away. Not if it can be used, it can be good for somebody else. All right, so start making room in your closet and your home for the new you. And one thing y'all can do, here's the pro tip, because this is what I do. I donate to the Salvation Army. And if y'all don't know that, they'll come pick the stuff up from your house. You can either do a drop off, but if you don't want to ride around with this stuff in your trunk for 3 months, you can just schedule a date for them to come pick it up. And I'll put that on the screen so y'all can see what it looks like. I'll show y'all how many times I've donated. I've donated furniture, I've donated clothes, especially before I'm finna move. Oh yeah, come get this dresser. I'm not taking it to the new apartment. It's good. Now it has to be in decent shape. Now they're not taking junk because they're rehoming these items. So that does help, especially women that you might not have a man to take it to the trash or dump, or somebody you want to give it to. Let it go to a good home. So I think it's satruck.org, but I'll put it on the screen. I'll put it in the description as well. But yeah, make room in your closet for your new aesthetic, okay? Oh, another way to give to people on the street, I'm not sure if I said this on here before, is if you have old purses that you are throwing out, do not throw them out. What I need y'all to do is fill them with tampons, maybe a couple snacks, things like that. Some self-care items that you can give to a woman on the street. Like I gave a woman an old knockoff Louis Vuitton bag. It had some old Victoria's Secret lotion I had in there. It had some tampons. It had some alcohol wipes. Just different little stuff that I had around the house that would be helpful to somebody out there on the street. And I remember when I gave it to her, she was looking at me a little crazy. And then I had to do what I had to do. And then when I was leaving the area, I saw her going in the bag and rubbing that lotion on her feet because feet might have been dry and hurting, just little stuff. You never know what doesn't matter to you anymore. It can go a long way for somebody else. So I would always encourage y'all to donate, help the homeless. I'll tell y'all a million times that I had a catered birthday before and we had so much food left over. I took it to the men's shelter the next day because I'm not throwing it away. We got 75 chicken wings over here. Do you know how appreciative they would be of that? And it's good quality. This ain't no just nasty shelter food that was made in masses. No, this was some good quality meat and they were so happy to have it. So always keep that in mind. Always try to, pay it forward, pass on the blessing, okay? And that's part of inner beauty. That's energy, So that, I just feel like that just shows character. And you don't have to record yourself. Like me, I do so much for people on the streets. When I see them, I'm not ever going to take a picture of that. I'll tell y'all all day long. Y'all can believe me or not, but don't humiliate somebody just to lift yourself up either, okay? But do what you can when you can. Even if you riding home from from work, and this is something else that I do, because it's just stuff people might not think of. That's why I'm telling y'all. You're riding home from work, and you see a homeless person on the side of the street, and you got leftover lunch in your car that you not going to eat, or you going to pass another burger spot and you can afford another burger. They can't. Give them the rest of your lunch. I do that all the time. I give them whatever leftovers I have in my car because at the end of the day, I can buy myself something to eat. They cannot. And it just goes a long way and you'll feel real good about it. I just feel like that's part of the inner beauty. So now that you are more intentional about your look, how do you feel when you look in the mirror? Is it like a shock to your system because you done did a 180 and went on and chopped off all your hair and threw out all your old clothes and now you got a whole new aesthetic overnight? Or are you slow walking it? You know what I mean? Like I did. Okay, change the color hair. All right, this is cute. Let me see how this works. I got good feedback. Cool. Shifted the wig, shifted my perspective. I liked it. Okay. But so that's what I mean about being intentional. How do you feel afterwards? Because after I shifted it, I was like, oh, I could have really been doing this the whole time. It's about adjusting. Don't be so fixed to wearing it one way or rigid in your ways. So just like I told y'all before, I had a friend that she wore the same hairstyle all her life. And then when she started playing with hairstyles, it just opened her up in a different way. She was like, okay, life is not have to be one way. You can try new things. So now that you are intentional, write down in the comments how it makes you feel and also write down in your journal how it makes you feel, okay? Now, once you find a look you like, what I want you to do is Put on the whole outfit. Create the whole aesthetic. And then give yourself a mini photo shoot. All right? Just a mini photo shoot in the house or maybe outside. But put some effort into it. Bring the whole look together. Take pictures of yourself and look at those. Reflect on those. Do you feel like you look like the people on Instagram that you admire that have this aesthetic? How did it make you feel? Do you feel like, wow, I can really pull it off? I've never seen myself look like this. Because I know it's certain styles that I've worn. I'm like, I never saw myself looking like this before. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, okay? But once you find yours, what I want you to do is give yourself a photo shoot. Glam yourself up in your aesthetic and really have something to look at and be like, okay, this is me. I want to have more looks like this. So got my blazer. Now, mind you, I got some other suits in there, okay? But once I put my suit on and take my pictures, okay, now I need to be getting on somebody's panel. I need to be putting myself out there. I need to be looking for people doing workshops. Start walking in it. Start walking towards it, okay? That's what you're supposed to do. That's what the energy, all of this is supposed to create, okay? So it ain't just a piece. We're going to get the piece. We're going to put it on, but let's have that manifestation piece push us towards our purpose and manifest that reality. And when you write about it in your journal, how do you feel? Do you feel confident? Do you feel sexy? Do you feel bold? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like taking over the day? Okay? Do you feel like you about to walk on a catwalk? You want to go to all your friends' houses so they can see the new you and you can get everybody's reaction. How do you feel? Did it bring life like that? Like I just showed y'all this suit, bro. It just gave me life and y'all saw that. So how does your new aesthetic and your manifestation piece make you feel, okay? And even if it's not just the manifestation piece, but deciding and starting to make changes towards your new aesthetic, how do they make you feel? And are you ready to step out in public with it? Because you can do the whole photo shoot in your house, which is great. You look at it, you're ready, you think it's cute, you might post it, but are you ready to walk outside it? Are you ready to be in the public when people are looking at you? Because like I see on Instagram how the women be like, dress up everywhere you go. And in my heart, that's me. I wish I could wear, just something flowy and crazy to the grocery store. But I'm not ready for all the looks and stuff like that. Now, excuse me, I've been dressing up more, getting myself back to me, making sure I'm putting that on. But I can't be like Marlo Hampton. You know how Marlo, she gonna step regardless. She going to get her license taken and she's doing the most. Or you like how Cash did, Cash Doll. Now I could do it on Cash Doll level. I could. How y'all saw when Cash Doll went to go get her license taken, my girl had on her pink fur. My girl was bad, okay? But this is Cash Doll, okay? But you get what I'm saying? You gotta be ready to come out in public with it. That might be something you have to work your way up to, and that's okay. So if you have a bold aesthetic, you might not want to come out in public boldly the whole nine, but start slow, okay? Like, low-key, I was at the park last week and I saw a furry in real life, and they were with their family. So they were the only person, and he didn't have on the whole furry suit, but he had on the furry hat. I mean, the furry head. Like, it was like the little wolf head. You get what I mean? But they were in public. You get what I mean? They came out in public in their chosen aesthetic. Now, and the probably reason they probably didn't have on the whole thing because it was hot outside. The head was probably hot enough, but they could be building up their confidence to wearing the whole suit. Who knows? I don't know if he was building up his tolerance to the heat in that head, because I hope those things have some ventilation in them. But that's what I'm saying. Like, are you bold enough to come out in public and be ready for the stares? Because people were showing up looking. I was looking, okay? Because I've seen that on the internet, but never in real life. So are you ready to be that person people are looking at in real life? All right? All right, so we are on to the physical beauty, all right? Well, physical body type stuff. Because the physical stuff is also the aesthetic outside. But body type and working out and stuff. So have you gained or lost weight yet? And when I say that, I'm talking about, have you been intentional about your workouts and how you're treating your body? Do you have a target weight that you want to hit? I know I do. A lot of women do. Do you want to get down to 135? Do you want to get up to 175? What is your goal? Just make it clear and tangible. So you're not just saying, I want to gain weight. I want to lose weight. Okay, how much weight you want to lose, child? You want to lose 2 pounds or 20 pounds? Because that's losing weight. What's going to make you happy? What's going to help you reach your higher self? How much did she weigh? Okay, compared to how much you weigh. All right, and now get on track to getting there. Me, I'm about to start, because I'm a skinny girl that's trying to put on weight. But as I'm putting on weight, I'm realizing I now have to be conscious of a stomach. And working out is something I never had to be conscious of before. But I'm aware now, okay? Because I went on vacation this weekend, and some of them angles, I was not liking at all, okay? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get in the gym with my man when I get back. And I got stuff, but that's like the weights and stuff. I need something, I got to start focusing on them abs, baby, them abs. So, yeah. So have you been intentional about that? If so, that's great. If not, get yourself on the ball, okay, girl? What have you been doing to work towards your dream body? Okay, so like I said, write down your goals, what dress size you want to wear, how much you want to weigh. Are you meal prepping? I was just talking to my boyfriend about that. So what are your eating habits? Have they changed? Have you started eating more? Have you started changing your portion sizes? Have you started calorie counting? What are you doing to get yourself to that dream body? Okay? Because it starts in the mind. And you gotta plan. Because when you go to the grocery store, I need you to be buying the right things. Get your TikTok recipes and make sure you're writing down all the ingredients. So when you get to the grocery store, you're buying the right stuff and not like, well, dang, I don't even know what go in it. And I don't feel like scrolling down. I'm just going to make spaghetti. The same thing that got you where where you choose not to be. All right. So instead of the healthy meal, you got a meal full of carbs because it was quicker and easier. So be intentional about everything that you do. All right. So now we're on to inner beauty. Have you worked on that attitude yet? Because if you have attitude. All right. And because we talked about energy and how it radiates without words. So attitude, I told my sister I'm going to talk to my niece before she goes to college, because teenagers moody and stuff like that, and it matters, because if somebody sees you from afar, every time they interact with you, they see you with an attitude, and you might have a really bad day, but you got to learn how to control your attitude. You can't just be so emotional when people are supposed to know without you telling them, or just know that she really is a good person. You just caught her on a bad day. People not going to justify that. They're just going to think you got a bad attitude, and they're not going to want to deal with you. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person that's viewed like that, especially when you are a good person. And I remember when I was in my 20s and I was working in the call center, and an older lady said something to me like that. She was saying, she pulled me to the side and she was like, you're a pretty girl. She was like, she was talking about how I interacted with one of my colleagues. And there was a younger guy that he was just so childish. So she was just like, I see how she was like, I know he childish. She was like, I see the way you look at him. She was like, don't do that. She was like, because you don't know how other people in the call center are looking at you. And I remember being headstrong 20-something-year-old, like, well, can't nobody here do nothing for me anyway. I'm like, I don't care. And I remember like, all right. And I didn't get it at the time, because all I know was, no, he over here being childish. I'm being grown. I'm being the adult about it. But I didn't realize how I was coming off to other people, So I'm thinking our interaction, I'm responding to him one-on-one, but not realizing people can be judging me off of what they see, and they don't know the context of our conversation. All they know is every time they look over there, I'm probably looking like this, or like I was coming off like that, and that is not me whatsoever. And she tried to tell me, I remember being like, ain't nobody doing that, and not even to be nasty, but it's just like, child, we all working here. We all making $10.25. So what is somebody from across the room gonna do for me? So, and that's not how life works. And I was an older woman trying to tell me, she was my age. You get what I'm saying? I'm almost 40. She was 40 at the time and I was 20. So that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, it really does make a difference. People can see you. And at the end of the day, somebody in that call center did do something for me. I ended up getting my next job and being able to leave that call center because of a friend I made there. So it had nothing to do with my attitude, but at the end of the day, she was right. There is people in this call center that can do something for you and you never know. But they may not want to do it because they looking at you and they might be worried your attitude can't handle it. Okay? And so I'm passing that on to y'all, okay? I hope that helps. I hope that hits somebody. Watch your face. And like I told y'all, when I was beefing with them ladies in the call center that did not like me and my other job, they was the ones walking around. And they thought they was going to intimidate me. And what was I doing? I was walking around smiling, dancing, laughing, joking. Okay? Now, which one from afar looked better? Me. I wasn't the one that people know as the negative one. Oh, they always mad. She always looking like that. No. And that's growth. And it's not even like, because it ain't like what she stuck in my head. I'm like, oh, let me get better. It actually just hit me. But I grew, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Basically, like, I grew and I understood it after a while. I picked up on that, okay? Now, what I want y'all to figure out, if you do have an attitude problem, it's why. What is the problem? Are you easily triggered? Do you wake up mad due to your circumstances? Like you don't like your job, you don't like your home, you don't like your neighborhood, you don't like your man. Like, what is the problem? Figure it out, okay? And then address it. If it's your man making you miserable, maybe you don't need to be with that man. Or figure out what it is about your relationship that's making you miserable and try to fix that. But you have to channel where this attitude is coming from, because you don't want to be miserable like that. Having an attitude ain't even fun. It's not. It's not cute or fun. So why are we here? I understand people have bad days, but we got to learn some emotional control first off. So when you out there in the public, you got to put your poker face on. You could be mad as a pistol or whatever the little phrase is, 48 hot, but you don't have to let them see you sweat. That's what I'm saying, okay? Learn how to control you. Learn how to regulate your emotions. When you get home, you want to crash out and take a shot and cuss everybody out from your job while you talking to your man or you talking to your homegirl on the phone. That's cool. Nobody's saying you can't have emotions, okay? But attitude is totally different. This person pissed you off in traffic. Now everybody else in the rest of the day got to deal with your attitude because you think it's okay to slam doors and stuff because somebody pissed you off at 9:45 in the morning. Girl, it's 2 p.m. Get over it. Get over it. That's real. I remember being in the grocery store standing behind this married man, and I remember he reached down and got a Snicker bar. Then he reached down and got some other kind of candy, and he was looking at me, and I was just looking like, there's a lot of sweets. You know what I mean? Like cracking jokes, you know what I mean? And he started laughing. He was like, yeah. He was like, I like to take my wife something home before when I go, because I don't know what kind of mood she gonna be in. So I like to, oh, baby, here's something I thought about you. I'm like, that's a thoughtful man. But also, like, why do he not know what your attitude is gonna be like when you walk in the house? What happened? If somebody pissed you off, you need to let your man be your peace. Like, baby, this co-worker did this. You're not supposed to be taking it out on your man because your boss done pissed you off. Now you out here bullying your damn kids and your husband and your friends. No, that's not cool. All right? So you got to make some changes. If it's your circumstances, you got to find a new job. You got to find a new, you know what I'm saying, new location to live, because you get into it with your neighbors and your HOA. Whatever it is, you got to dig deep and figure it out and fix it. fix it. Because it's not for everybody else to deal with your attitude. You're not finna be bullying me. And that's how you lose friends. People will deal with certain stuff for a certain amount of time. And sometimes people get tired of it. Because I ain't did nothing to you. And you're not finna keep treating me like an emotional punching bag. So dig deep. Figure it out. Why you got an attitude all the time. And work on it. Because people do not have to be around you. And I would hate for you to lose everybody because you couldn't get it together. You a grown woman, couldn't regulate your emotions. I don't want you to have kids that grow up and don't want to deal with you because you took out all your anger from the day on them because you could. And you treated your kids like emotional punching bags. Some people treat their kids like real punching bags. So you figure out what the problem is and fix it. All right, because only you know why you got this crazy ass attitude. And if you the type to have attitudes just because you think it's cute, I'll tell you right now, it's not. It's not. Having a unjustified attitude for the sake of having an attitude. Why? Was that cute? Do I look cute sitting right here? Was that cute? No. And I know women that act like that and they think they're giving. And that's not cute. We ain't kids. We ain't in high school. Why do you think walking around with a frown is a flex? I don't know. All right. Having an attitude and giving your man a hard time just for the sake of giving him a hard time. He ain't did nothing to you. He having a good day. You was having a good day. And you say, let me fuck it up. Really? You just toxic like that. That's toxic, attitude for no daggone reason. Fix it, girl. Fix it. Grow up. That's what I really need to say. What you really need to do is grow up. Because why? Like, I don't know. Like, what you think? You trying to be a city girl? Like, them girls is young. Like, and that's a lifestyle choice. You get what I'm saying? So you can't be trying to demand respect or want to be seen a certain way, but you walk around nasty and nose up. Don't nobody got time for that. That ain't. Men don't think that's cute either. I mean, it's some, but what type of man is he? If you want a toxic man and like a toxic chick, and y'all can have a toxic relationship, that's fine. Everything lines up. Long as your stuff line up. I listen, but I don't judge. But girl, okay, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. But just know that energy affects your beauty from the inside out. It really does. Beauty is not just outside. It's not the hair, the lashes, the nails. It starts from the inside and it radiates out. It really does. I know y'all heard about the pretty girls with the bad attitude, the mean girls. Don't nobody want to be known as a mean girl. You 45-year-old mean girl, 35-year-old mean girl, that's not cute. It ain't cute to be a 25. It's never cute to be a mean girl. What am I talking about? It's never cute or cool. But I will give it to a high schooler or a middle schooler whose brain ain't fully developed. You a grown woman with 2 kids and a job, okay? And a car note. Still out here trying to be a mean girl. It's not cute. It's not. I'll tell you, okay? And being known as a mean girl, that will stick with you. So now you done changed who you are. You done leveled up. You done watched the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. And you done leveled up your beauty, brain, strength, and standards. But somebody from 10 years ago, they see you and they still know you to be. All they know is the mean girl that you used to be. They don't want to take time to get to know the new and improve you. And they don't have to. Because the old you did enough damage. I don't have to take the chance of traumatizing myself. Because you say you did better. So just keep that in mind too. If you want to make amends with some people, that's fine. Because I knew somebody who they had the nastiest attitude. The girl that I told you I let live with me. You know what I'm saying? She had the nastiest attitude till the end. Like, I remember even with some health issues she was having, like before she passed away, somebody was like, because it ain't just about me. She just had a record, And somebody asked her, like, don't you think you should try to make amends with your health being the way it is before things start declining for real? And she was like, no. she told me before, she's comfortable with hate. She's comfortable with telling people to kill themselves. Like, it's some people that really are like that, and people have done nothing but help that girl. But it was that bad attitude, and at the end of her life, all the people that had been there and let her sleep on their couch and stuff like that when she passed, everybody was like, oh. Because why we can't feel bad for you. We felt bad for you when you was alive, and you did us wrong after we felt bad for you. So now it's like, I hate to hear it. Sorry, but you know, it is what it is. And since you started taking your intentional actions to fix yourself, to my ladies that have already started working on that attitude and stuff like that, or just being intentional, how have you felt? Do you feel like your aura is lighter when you not walking around frowned up the whole time? Okay? Like, how do you feel now? Like, you wake up appreciating more, the gratitude, being grateful and doing your gratitude journal, that goes a long way. But I want to hear from the girls that were intentional about changing who they want, the negative traits of themselves, because I want you to be who you are, but the negative traits that you needed to work on, how do you feel once you change those? Like, really dropping the attitude, how much different does it make for you in a day? How do people receive you now when you show up versus how they received you when you just stayed on 10, on go all the time? All right? I want to hear about that, but make sure you journal about it too, because I want you to write it out, and so you can give yourself the credit you deserve and really give yourself those kudos as you write about, like, any other time I would have cussed this girl out, I would have snatched her through the drive-through window, I would have did this, but I handled it this way and I feel good about it. I didn't go to jail. Like, for real, like, really, really, really dig deep, because it's women out there who attitude control their life, and the decisions they make, and it can ruin their life because you so trained to go that you don't think about consequences, And I want you to write that down now, that how you changed and how it's made you feel. Give yourself those props. And how is your perspective changed on things? Like, when somebody try you now, or somebody say something that triggers you, like, how do you overcome that? How do you let it slide without feeling like you got tried and punked? Because I know for a lot of people, they feel like they can't let stuff slide. They got to get their lick back. Ain't nobody finna try me. Because they don't realize, like, girl, some people, and that's another thing I was going to tell my niece, some people will bait you, all right? Some people want to bring you down to their level. So they will bait you into stuff just so you can catch a charge, just so you can lose that job after. You can lose that house. Your whole life will go downhill off of one decision sometime. So don't let nobody bait you into no BS. Don't let nobody bait you into lowering yourself down to their level, okay? Don't let nobody trick you out your spot, pretty much. Now, throughout this, have you received any shade? Because that's something I'm going to tell y'all. Y'all always got to be on the lookout for. When you're bettering yourself, everybody's not going to be here for it. They're really not. And I need you to be able to recognize who can and who cannot go with you to the next level, who may be sabotaging you from going to the next level. It makes a difference. I need y'all to be on that, okay? And I need you to write down who they are, what they're saying, how it made you feel. Even when it comes down to maybe just a little weird comment. Write that thing down. Because the little weird comment today can lead to another weird comment next week, to you putting all the pieces together like, this chick don't mess with me. She don't rock with me at all. All right? Because you might forget this little because it's been like that for me before. Like, I done saw a little weird sign and let it ride. And then when the friendship declined, I was like, oh, I kind of remember she did do this and then did do that. But I didn't think those two things had anything to do with each other. And I didn't think that had to do with a big old plot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to be on it, okay? Now, like I said, everybody is not going to be happy for your level up. And when I mean Everybody, it could be your best friend, it could be your mama, it could be your closest confidant. They may only be close to you while you're at a certain level, because when you start rising, people will start getting jealous. Like, I got a friend that's going through that now. She got a sister that is basically jealous of the other people coming up in the family. You know what I'm saying? Because when everybody's at a certain level, at least I can position myself above you. But everybody, wait a minute, everybody's doing the work to level up except me. So it's like the people that was below her is rising up above her, and you can tell she can't take it. She don't know what to do. She ain't gonna do the work, but she can't take it. She can't. So keep that in mind. Like I said, these are sisters, siblings, okay? So you have to be aware of that. It can be the closest person to you, blood relative, okay? Long-term friend since kindergarten, god sister. Y'all been through all this and that together. And you can't believe that she turned her back on you when you decided to take a college course. Something little like that. She said, oh, you think you better than me. Like I told y'all before, my friend, she got a little call center, her first little call center job, and a little cash car. But it was doing more than what her family was doing. They used to handouts and sitting on their tail. So when she get her a little bit of job, little cash, little car, they was hating, okay? You think you better than me. While you asking me with your hand out for what I can do for you, you also mad that I can do it for you. And while I'm minding my business, just existing, you talking about you think you better than me. And I can't stand it. They think they better as bitch, okay? I cannot, because ain't nobody said or tried to be better than you. When people start saying, oh, they think they better, that's because you see something in them that's better. That's what it is. Something that's more work and more work ethic than you gonna ever put in, and you know that. You see a grind that you will never have. So you get mad. You hate. Oh, they think they better. No, they are better. Sometimes people are just better. They work harder, live better, they nicer, okay? They budget money better. She's better. Some people are just better. Let's just be real. We are all good, but some people might be better than others. You want to sit on your ass and be toxic with your hand out, sabotaging people, hating on people with an attitude, and you gonna compare, and you're living a life of comparison, because the person that's up here that's leveling up, they ain't comparing themselves to you or nobody else. They just living life, and that's why they think they better than me. No, you think they're better than you. That's all it is. You projecting, because you can't even say somebody think they better than you if they don't know you. If they not paying you no attention, if this a girl at your job that you ain't never had 2 words with, and all she do is come to work, mind her business, and wear her high heels, and she might have a Gucci bag and a nice weave that she keeps up every 2 weeks, and you sitting over there with your attitude and your low balance on your account, or your hair that you got at tax time, or you something you ain't updated, and you see her and she mind her business, she thinks she better. Who said that? Who said that? Because she didn't. All I saw her do was go get some damn coffee and sit down. And you over here with your nose turned up talking about she thinks she better than everybody. Do she really? Or do you think she better than you because she cool? If you actually talk to her, she cool. It's you that got your nose turned up talking junk about everybody that walk past your desk. Think about it. That's what I mean. That inner beauty, that attitude, that shines through, and it makes you ugly. You could have the best. You could actually be a woman that got everything that lady got. Y'all got the same car. She got a foreign, you got a foreign. She wear heels, you wear heels. She got a nice shape, you got a nice shape. Your shape might be better than hers, okay? According to society, okay? And you still hating on her because what is it about her? It's her light. It's her light. The difference between you and her is that she got a smile and your ass got a frown. That's the only freaking difference, is that she got a light inside of her and you walk around being dim and dark. And by choice, because like I said, you can fix the attitude. It's just you chose not to and you think it's cute. You think it's cute, and then you see somebody else actually being cute and they think they better than you. You see how that works? It's you. It's you. All right? Fix that attitude. I'm so serious about that. I can't stand an attitude for no reason ass chick, and I can't stand a hater. Because for you to sit back and say anybody think they better than you, that ain't did nothing to you, that might not know you, haven't acknowledged you, that's just a hater. You just hating. Fix yourself. Stop looking at other people's plate. Fix your own. Now, moving on. Have the changes that you have made in yourself made you change in other areas? So it started with aesthetic. It started with a manifestation piece. It started with fixing your attitude. But now you taking this to the next level. Okay, now I'm trying to start my business. I'm trying to get my LLC. I'm really trying to do some stuff. I believe in me now. I'm trying to reach that higher self. I know if I could have changed this, I can do anything. Now that I changed my aesthetic, I'm wearing suits or I'm wearing this, I'm walking in my journey. I feel empowered to do more. Okay, you started your lock journey. Now you starting your waist bead business or something like that, or your vegan business, your vegan catering company. How has that energy transferred into other parts of your life? Because once you get the ball rolling and you start raising them vibrations, baby, it's all up. It ain't like the vibration gonna be down over here in your life and this one gonna be super high. You gonna be cute. Like, keep beauty, brain, strength, and standards. That's why I break it down like that, because that's covering all the avenues. That's covering everything, okay? So make sure you write down how these small changes have made other changes in your life outside of your beauty, outside of your aesthetic, okay? How has it put the battery in your back, all right? And so I am getting out there more. I am working on my body. I'm really feeling myself change and transform in a beautiful way. And I'm not procrastinating as much. Like, that's something I prayed on for years. And the more I tell y'all stuff, the more I'm holding myself accountable. So, like, for instance, this last week, I went to the park by myself. Now, I've been telling my friends, I want to do picnics. I got all the picnic blanket and stuff. This summer, we doing picnics. But a day came and none of my friends were available. I had nothing else to do. And I said, I'm going to go to the park. And I packed up and I went to the park. That's the nice park in Charlotte. What a fun park, Freedom. And I packed my little car up and I went out there. And I'm going to put a little clip in there from me sitting in the car telling y'all I'm going to try new things. All right, I'm out here at the park. Come on here. I told myself I was going to start doing new things, get myself out the house. I need some lip gloss. Get myself out the house, and that is what I'm doing. I'm coming out here to brainstorm. I might record a little something, but I'm doing what I said I'm going to do with nobody with me, okay? So, encouraging y'all to do the same. Gotta practice what I preach. That was me. I had to get over the anxiety of being alone. Okay, where am I going to pop my little blanket up at? What am I going to do when I get out there? And what I did was I scoped the scenery out, before I went and got my whole bag with my blanket and stuff. I just walked to see where everything was and how people was posted up, and I saw. So once I saw that, I went back to the car and got my stuff. And thank God I did, because when I went to scope the scenery, I had on some sandals. And just like the terrain of the park, when I tell you my ankles and feet was fighting for dear life trying to keep them shoes on my feet, I had to go in my trunk and put on some sneakers that I had planned on donating. Now, you know how you got the donation bag in your trunk, because even though and see, it was one for people I want to give on the side of the road. That's what it was for. Some sneakers I was going to give a lady. I was like, I got to put these little things on. And I was so happy to have them in my trunk. So I might actually have to throw some kick arounds in my trunk and my picnic bag just for future use, in case I am out there in sandals and I ain't trying to make that trek. Because, baby, my ankles was hurting, okay? I was like, no, sir. And I'm not finna go get the bag and then be trying to keep my feet balled up and stuff like that while I'm walking. No, sir. Okay? But like I said, it just encouraged me to do more. And then while I was out there, I recorded a video for y'all. I got to edit that. I called a few friends and they was like, dang, you out there doing dope stuff. I ain't know that, And so, but now that's one hurdle I've gotten over. So I've done that twice. I found a spot where I can sit and do my, my editing, a little cool little cafe that I've been to on my own, and they remodeled it from what it used to be, so it's real nice and cute in there, very cute aesthetic. I can take pictures, but I can zone out, and it's just a cute place outside of my home to chill and do my work for the podcast. And now I know I can drive myself to the park and throw out a blanket by myself without feeling awkward, without, now I know I don't have to do the scope the scenery thing. I know exactly where to go when I go to the park now. So I really feel good. I feel like I'm being bolder. I'm stepping out of my own way so that I can enjoy life. Like, I'm so big on making sure I enjoy life this year. And not just this year, but I'm really being intentional about it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, starts with the wig. I shifted my wig from middle to the side part and shifted my mindset. And that's really what's happening. And I'm just growing and going with the flow, and I'm loving it. So I'm not as anxious as I thought I would be trying to do that stuff alone. I don't feel awkward. Like, I was proud that even while I was out there, I had brought my microphone and everything so that and my tripod. So I had propped my camera up and I was talking to y'all. And I saw people looking at me and stuff, but I still kept going, okay? And made me proud. Now, in the videos, I do feel like I was talking a little low, but it's okay. It's okay. But that shows me what I am capable of, and I'm proud of that. I am so proud of that. All right? And so I just want you to keep in mind, are you becoming more confident with each change? Are you putting yourself out there more? Are you speaking up for yourself more? Like, do something out of the norm for you. Out of your comfort zone now. Don't go too far where you might have a panic attack or some anxiety attack. But take a small step out of your comfort zone. And when you do that, see how that makes you feel. And then take another step and another step, okay? Because now that I can go to the park alone, it's not just that park. I'm comfortable going to any park by myself now and being able to know what to do when I get there. If I need to scope out the scenery first, or can I see, okay, picnic bag in the trunk, lay it out, all right? And chill out. Now I know I can go post up at a cafe by myself outside of Starbucks, because I got tired of just going to Starbucks, child. But I know how to find an activity for myself and put myself out there to do it. Not while I'm getting ready, well, I'm just going to stay here, or I'm just going to go to the one around the corner, or I'm just going to, just try to simplify it from the original plan that I actually want to do. So I'm just so proud of myself, and I'm proud of y'all too, okay? So keep putting yourself out there, and this is the end of the beauty segment. So remember, beauty, brain, strength, and standards all will make you a whole lot of woman. Hi, ladies. I'm Nikita Chantel, host of the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. And if you've been trying to level up, but you don't have a tribe or roadmap, I made something just for you. It's my new ebook, The Whole Lotta Woman Blueprint, your guide to becoming your best self. It's over 50 pages of real transformational guidance. I'm talking mindset shifts, self-affirmations, journal prompts, and deep dives into healing, confidence, and setting higher standards. Based on my own journey and what I wish someone would have taught me along the way when I was trying to figure it all out. Whether you're rediscovering, rebuilding, or just ready to become her, start with the blueprint. The link is in the description, and I can't wait to see you on your other side of your glow up.